show tonight. Damien Barrett catches up with Mark Murphy after his shoulder injury amid fears, Jim. It could be season-ending.
And, of course, Kevin Sheedy coaches against his old club for the first time, and we cross live to the Master in Sydney.
Indeed. Big contract renewal news kicking around at the moment. Damien Barrett with some of the big names of the game.
And, Gary, I'm going to ask you about some of the criticism that you and your old footy club have copped during the week.
I look forward to that, Jim. Also, our man, the Falls, has been out and done a street talk in Ballarat that is not to be missed. Plenty to get through. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Docklands precinct for a big version of the footy show, and we start with a panel as always. No bigger name in football than this man, superstar on-baller from the St Kilda Football Club. Make him welcome Brendan Goddard. And speaking of big stars, the big premiership board from Collingwood, Chris Dawes. Premiership star from the Hawks, Shane Crawford.
Not sure our next man's in one piece, but he is the 300-game superstar from Geelong. Please welcome John Sammy Newman. Very nice to have you all assembled. Good to have Shane back in one piece after that amazing performance last week.
Yeah,
Forsell.
Like the bull to stuck one of its horns right in his gut. You started off great for 2 seconds, and then you just, what did you?
Sounds like your love life.
Hey?
It sounds like your love life. No, Nissan Navara, power of the mind, Australia's most powerful trading. That's nearly 4 seconds, and I am now Australia's most powerful cowboy. Don't you worry about that. Very frightening, and it's funny. What I was told is whatever you do, once you hit the ground, you've got 2 seconds before the bull will turn around and come at you. So get out of there, as long as he hasn't stood on you. But I felt good there.
You're looking
felt
great.
under control there.
What happened?
I'm a bit scared there, and I'm out of here. See you later.
You nearly got trodden on there, Shane.
Nearly, but he won't ever jump again. Never been ridden like that ever again.
How nerve-wracking in all the things you've done, seriously, because we did go to you just before it took off and you could hardly talk.
I wasn't scared at all. I was just doing that for TV, just trying to really build up the moment. But to be honest, I've never been more petrified in all my life because there's so many things that can go wrong. When they're holding, wrapping your arm in, they're saying make sure you fall left because if you go right, you'll get stuck and held on by the rope. So don't do that. When you fall off, don't go under because there's 800 kilos that'll stand on you, so it'll break your leg. And you've got 2 seconds to get out of there because he'll come at you. So there's a few things going through my mind when I actually got on. But as you can see, Sam, it's a breeze. I could no doubt get 8 seconds if I had another go. That's not true.
We need...
I don't reckon you could ride me for 8 seconds. I reckon if I got down, I reckon I could buck you off in 3 seconds.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, a little later we might.
We might have a go then later. Samuel, we need to quickly recognise the midweight Cobras who earned $10,000 from Nissan, of course, the mighty Nissan Navara. They, if you don't mind, this is a great story. They kept $5,000 and which is what they needed because they'd had $5,000 worth of damages, and donated the other $5,000 to a mental health charity. So well done to the midweight Cobras.
We love the Power of the Mind segment, and it's going to continue for the rest of the season. And someone in our vicinity is going to be up next.
Who?
And I'd like to welcome to the stage, very next time, Mr. Fossil Newman. You are up. Congratulations. So what we want you to do, we want you to get on Twitter at AFL Footy Show. Tell us what Sam should do. And I have one recommendation. You should have a live reunion show with all your ex-wives and we should get to watch it. What would you like to do?
What's that?
What are you frightened of?
The power of the mind.
My
What would you like to
ex-wives.
challenge?
No, I won't be doing anything until... You've done nothing, Gary.
No,
Can't blame you, you've done
I'll
nothing.
take my turn, you're next.
You're next, Foss.
So we'll get ready and we'll wait for some nominations and some
Tweet
suggestions.
us. Get on board.
Yeah, Brendan Goddard's in the house too. Welcome, Boojo. What is this, please?
The 250 commemorative badge for Lenny Hayes. It's a We Love Lenny week, apparently. So
Always we love Lenny.
no, he'll love that. He loves the attention. So it's Lenny's 250 this
We're
week.
going to pay tribute to him a little later. Competitive last week over there in the West Coast. Couldn't quite get the job done.
Yeah, I would probably argue with that. Our first half was pretty poor.
Came back well.
Well, yeah, but we'd already lost the game in the first half pretty much, and the damage was done. So 8 goals down at half time, and our effort definitely in the second quarter was better. But as I said, we'd lost the game in the first half.
Now, Beej, we need to find out what you're up to, please, because you're still out of contract. It's my feeling you don't want to go anywhere, but it's just a deal to be done with the Saints when the time's right. But then we heard your coach during the week saying it might have to be that one of our stars gets tipped out. No bigger star out of contract than yourself, Beej.
I didn't see that.
He did.
That's news to me.
He did. Where is it at?
Where's it at?
Yeah, we've got to ask you, so get it out of the road and tell us when you're going to play at St Kilda and we'll move on.
Something different. We'll talk about the contract.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, no, I've said it all along that I want to be a Sainer for life. And
Yeah, of course.
Let him talk.
yes,
No,
and
but that's obvious.
we're in constant talks with myself and my manager and the footy club, and then when that time does come up, and as I said before, cross that bridge when I get to it.
Brendan.
Sam.
Mate, it's a money thing. Let's not beat around the bush. Or else, it's a money thing, surely. It is.
At this point in time, it's not a money thing, Sam. I don't
At this point in time,
not at all.
eventually there's going to be a gap between what is offered from some fledgling club as opposed to what St Kilda will offer you, and you'll have to make a decision based on money.
Well, yeah, but
Yes.
every player knows that they're worth more to someone else than they are to the footy club, or they need to pay more to get you across
Yes,
to
and your
entice you.
point? And your point?
Well, that's just fact. That's reality in football. That happens to everyone.
Yes.
Dorsey's just gone through that.
That's right. So
Dorsey shaking his head furiously.
if they gild the lily, if they sweeten the pot enough, eventually it'll be a money decision.
No, not really, I don't think. No.
Well, then you
I've
might as
got a
well,
loyalty for my
might as well
footy club
sign
and to
with the
my
Saints
teammates,
now
Sam.
then. Might as well sign with the Saints now then.
Yeah, well, when I said that we're in constant talks with the footy club and
Over
my
what?
manager.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's clearly
Just
not
give
going to
us
be
a
discussed on
reasonable...
live television.
Give us a reasonable salary and I'll sign now. That's all you've got to do.
You got a time
easy
frame?
as that.
You got a time frame? I mean, would you like to get it done before the halfway mark?
Oh, no, there's no time frame on it at the minute, no.
Okay, well, the supporters clearly want you to stay. I mean, this is... The longer it goes, the more they come. And Jack Wilson is a young man who's a St Kilda supporter. We believe sent you a little card through the week. Now, you got that with you?
I do. Yeah, young Jack Wilson, who I met down at Frankston for one of our clinics. And I remember it very clearly that Jack came up to me afterwards. I think you can see a picture here of Jack and I standing together.
Yep.
And apparently he's trying to imitate my pose there. And he said to me, Brendan, he said, I'll give you $1 if you stay at the Saints. And true to his word, I received this, as some of you might know, it was my birthday last week, 27. And Jack sent me a card and it says, happy birthday from Jack Wilson. And true to his word, he's sent the $1 coin in.
Not only did he send that card in to you, Beej, he also sent a message in courtesy of the Footy Show.
Oh, there's more.
Please, Brendan, stay for the Saints. I don't want you to go to GWS. I'll miss you. Please.
Oh, little Jack.
Oh, that's very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Jack has been allowed to stay up tonight, first time since past 7:30 ever. Have you got a message? Just give him something.
I appreciate
Down the
your
barrel.
generosity, and it's
Tell
hard
him,
to say
mate.
no to that too. So
Give him
thank
his
you for your
dollar
kind
back,
words.
for God's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's saved for 5 years for that.
Tell him to send in another 999,000.
Very
Or
much so.
keep playing golf against Sam and I, and you'll have more money
That's
than
it.
you'll ever need.
It is. It's a very tough decision with contracts, and we saw a few weeks ago against Melbourne. You got a bit of a temper. We saw you up against Geordie McKenzie, getting tagged. It takes a very good player to get tagged and get out there and get plenty of kicks. What's going on? You got a bit of a temper, Brendan.
No, they said the two fiery redheads just were going at it. You see,
Where'd you
it's all
grab him
part
there?
of the game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you dealt with it in the
That's
past,
right.
Shane.
Yeah. You need any advice? I'm quite happy to sit you down and have a coffee.
Just on that, Damien Hardwick's been given a $5,000 suspended fine for comments he made to a boundary umpire about the treatment of Trent Cotchin. So the whole issue of taggers and the stars of the game continues to gather news. What have you got?
This is a recurring theme with Brendan, his anger. And this is a calming, this is a zen, a yin and yang.
Some of your best work, Sam. This is riveting stuff.
What is it?
It's a fountain.
Oh, hang on. It actually turns on.
This turns on. This has a little water feature, and it's meant to have a calming influence on you.
I like it.
And we're going to leave.
Come back over here for us pretty quickly, I would have thought.
I tell you what, that's made him angry. I'm going to calm you down again with another one. This one we want. This will calm you down while that one's getting you upset. There you go. Now there's two of them. Now this is meant. This is a yin and yang thing from the Chinese.
Gotta go to the toilet.
We'll leave that there and see whether it has the desired result or not. And in the meantime, let's welcome Chris Dawes from the Collingwood Footy Club. You've had some injury problems, a hand particularly, but we just, for those of us that were watching last week, thought you'd come back to the sort of form that you'd enjoyed over the previous couple of years.
Yeah, I don't think I can use a hand as an excuse for my poor form early this season.
Yeah.
You've been kind to me there. No, look, I'm slowly building, and one thing I did learn from last year is there's no point peaking too soon. Not to say I don't want to be in decent form, but at least I feel like I'm slowly building now, so hopefully I can start to string a few games together.
What did you say?
I said you're slow anyhow. You got that half. No, I'm only joking. He's going, what, hand injury?
No, he's had some surgery. Changing role, though. Lee Brown gone. You spend a bit more time in the ruck.
Bit more, yeah, probably only sort of 20-30% of the game in there, and I'm not having a huge impact, but I'm trying. Someone's got to do it.
Changing role.
We
Changing doors.
Sliding doors.
Sliding doors.
We normally do this a little later on in the show, but we've got a photo sent in of you as a junior playing footy. I think this is the Hampton Rovers, which is a fantastic footy club. There's Little Dawsey, but it's the name that caught our attention. Rather than Chris, it's Toppy. Where has that come from?
An embarrassing, thank you, childhood nickname that when my sister was learning my name when I was first born, she was about a year and a half old. Mum was teaching it to her in syllables, so she was being taught Chris Top her, and she picked up on the middle syllable and it sort of took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
To this day, calls you Toppy?
No, thankfully she's sort of grown out of that, but
The boys at the club call you Toppy?
no, but I'm sure they will now.
Yeah, they certainly will. And we love a Falcon on this footy show. And on the weekend, we saw Scott Pendlebury kick a great goal. But have a look where this ball goes. Collingwood cheer squad, up go the heads, bang, right in the face. And once again, keep your hands on the footy, and bang. But it gets worse than that. What's worse than getting a ball in the face and being a Collingwood supporter? Actually, have a look at this. His mate right next to him will put the circle around him. Have a look. The ball goes, and you might see he drops his beer. That is worse than copping a ball in the face. Drops his footy. Not a great day. Luckily, the Pies got across the line.
We need to get stuck into some footy on the footy show, funnily enough. And the first game Friday night involves the Western Bulldogs and Geelong. Stadium. And the Dogs are going okay. 1-4 in their last 5. Cooney, Roughhead, Vez, Premi and Pearce make their way in. Look at Boyd there dominating the points for the Doggies. As I said, they are travelling okay, as are the Cats. Far from the worst against Collingwood on the weekend. Joel Selwood continues to be unbelievable. Matty Scarlett, a massive in, as is the first gamer, Jonathan Simpkin. Good luck to him as he embarks on his AFL career. Now, Centrebet. Let's quickly touch on the betting for this particular game. Between 3 and 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, Centrebet will give you $5, if you don't mind, on Steve Johnson to kick 4 or more goals in this game. It's an hour of power, available only on centrebet.com, there you are, or on the Centrebet iPhone app. The max stake is $50. Make sure you gamble responsibly. Centrebet, don't just watch it. All right, Shane, what's going to happen?
The Dogs have really improved, which is good to see, but I think Podsy Adley and Hawkins will kick a bag, and I think Geelong will win and get back on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, look, I think Geelong were pretty tough last week and they're a proud group. We've seen that over the past few years and I think they'll bounce back with a pretty strong victory.
Yeah, although the Dogs are building and much improved, I think Geelong will get over the line. Interesting to watch the battle of the midfields too, with Boyd and Griffin in great form and Selwood and Bartel on the type, so it should be a good battle.
The FARC Academy has been down to Geelong this week. We've held a seminar down there. Their kicking was atrocious last week. In fact, kicked them out of the game. We're turning a blind eye to the umpiring this year, are we? We're not commenting on umpires?
Well, we generally don't.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly and truly.
Do their best. I don't know if you've ever umpired.
I've umpired, and that is the greatest myth of all time. It is not hard to umpire a game of football if you actually know what you're doing and you enter into the spirit of it.
In the spirit of the show, who are you tipping?
I'm tipping Geelong because the academy has been down there. And the Orange Roughie, Jared, last week kicked... We spoke to him, I personally spoke to him after the show last week and told him just the secrets of the academy, and he kicked 4 last week, and we're opening up enrolments later on in the show to the academy.
Look forward to that. I'm going for the Cats as well, but there's the biggest story than that over the last 48 hours, Sam. It's a serious story. It's a police siege. I'm not sure where it was, to be honest. I've been away, but it was involving a man who calls himself Badness, and he's facing some very, very serious charges. I think you may have crossed paths with Badness in the past.
Yes, I did. I chatted to him. Pleasant man. Looked and sounded not unlike Mussolini, but without the charm. I spoke to him. We're not allowed to say what we spoke about because he's been charged with various offences. Although it's been on the news what he did speak to me about and what he did say, what he'd do to me if we didn't put him on. But we're not allowed to say that. No, he wasn't charged. So you'll have to just fill in the missing gaps. But at the end of the day, I nearly shit myself, and hence that's why we put him on.
Well, it's very serious.
He gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, Gary.
But, I mean, you face all sorts of challenges.
I do, and it's not the first time I've been threatened with a weapon. This man's... I've nearly seen everything.
I'm just going for a ride, that's how we do it here.
He brought out the heavy truncheon and just tried to get me. What?
The musket.
He brought out the heavy
artillery.
We're going to take a break. Kevin Sheedy, the coach of the GWS, to join us next on the Footy Show.
Tonight on a Footy Show that's right out on the top shelf, Super Coach Kevin Sheedy talks about taking on his beloved Bombers this weekend. Grab your caftan and light up your peace pipe. Sam takes street talk to Ballarat. What did I say?
It's a crow call.
We get Gaz's take on his winless D's. A touching Footy Show tribute to the men in white. Damo goes one-on-one with Carlton's Mark Murphy about his devastating injury. And there's a new name in sport.
Harry! Harry!
Run, Babel, run, run! Beware the hare!
One dog, one monobrow. What? For those who missed this stunning debut, stay tuned. And from the Saints locker, the club shop, saints.com.au, there are only 250 of these available. They're personally signed by the great man, featuring a replica Norm Smith and Trevor Barker B&F medal, $495, as I said. Only 250 of them available because he is playing game number 250. Congratulations to one of the greats of the AFL, Shane.
This match, St Kilda up against the Sydney Swans. We have a look at the St Kilda side first. And Lenny Hayes, 250 games, well done. Also, Farron Ray, 150 games. Nick Rewalt's in really good form. And I reckon the Saints will just be ready to roll. We'll have a look at the Sydney Swans. All going on really nicely. Josh Kennedy, been a really good performer all year. Lewis Jetta, we like the way he goes about it. Kieran Jack, 150. And it's also Marty Matner's 200th game too. So a lot of milestones. Well done. I think it's going to be a beauty. And I think the Saints will definitely win for Lenny. He is the heartbeat outside, and they'll have a win. Dawsey.
Yeah, Crawf, I reckon St Kilda are especially good at the Dome, and the fact that it's Lenny's 250th, I think, makes them a pretty good bet.
BJ, very strong through the middle, this Sydney side. You got your work cut out.
Yeah, they are. They're very, as we know, very competitive team and very much somewhat of a one-on-one team. But you know, every time you come up against the Swans, you're in for a fight. And in the past, I've had some really good battles with them, and they've got us the last couple of times.
What are you
Toffee
about?
Toffee said that they...
Toppy.
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 Hey?
Toppy, not toffee. Toppy.
A toppy.
Toffee.
You said your sister broke it down syllable by syllable. Be Chris Toff.
She's only two.
She's only two. Doesn't matter how old she is. The syllables are Chris Toff.
Oh, right. Oh, we've got to go quick.
Toffee. You think, you reckon that St Kilda will win because of Lenny Hayes, do you? And you did too, stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
What absolute
He's the heartbeat of that
nonsense.
side.
Well, he might be. Don't tell me they go up a cog because Lenny Hayes is playing his two.
Very
That's
special
absolute
day. Could
rubbish.
be his last game ever.
Absolute what?
Well, you just never know.
That is absolute
it's not going to be
rubbish.
his last game ever, but
Toffee,
you just never know.
Don't get sucked into that crap.
Who are you going for, Forsell?
And I think the Saints. I think you'll be saved by the fact that it's at Etihad, Brendan. And if you could let yourself go a bit and just get a bit of angst in, I think that will sort things out. Give those the flick. Not now,
No,
but
I'm not
give
taking them to the rooms with me, Sam. Might be helping out.
No, you'd be a passive pussycat.
There
No,
you
just
go.
get in there and lift.
So you were going for the... I'm
Going
going for
for
the
the-
Swans. I like
You
that.
go for the Swans. Don't think Lenny Hayes will engender
I
any
love him
fear into
like
the...
everyone else, but I've got great respect for Sydney, as I have for our next guest. I think when the AFL draw came out, both sides would have pencilled this one in for the first time ever. The most iconic figure of the Essendon Footy Club in the past a couple of decades. Kevin Sheedy coaches against his old side, been very good to join us tonight on a link from Sydney, the coach of GWS, Kevin Sheedy. Welcome, Sheedy. Footy Show, congratulations on notching up that win a couple of weeks ago. It was a magnificent performance. What do you got there, the next batch of recruits?
No, we got the. This is the Mighty Giants Rat Pack on the Parramatta River. At Toby Green, he's just been suspended for a week for terrible indiscretion. And then we got Devon Smith, and then we've got Stephen Canelio, and then we've got Adam. Then we throw over a little Taylor Adams, Sam Frost, Nick Haynes, and Dom Tyson. So these are the Giants that are going to kill him in about the next 2 or 3 years, mate.
An exciting young batch. Sheeds, how are you feeling? I mean, your ties with the Essendon Footy Club are so well known, and now for the very first time you're going to be coaching against them. It'll be an unusual feeling, I'd reckon.
Well, I've never done it before, that's fair enough, yeah. It'll be good. I mean, they've come a long way. They're up there in the equal top. Hurdy and the boys have done a pretty good job. And they're probably going to come up to Sydney. I think they're going to get the 4 points in about 10%.
Kev, what about...
So we're just got to accommodate that.
What about James Hird? We saw an emotional scene over in Perth, I think it was from memory, where the two of you wound up at the same time, and he's been as much a part of your journey as you've been a part of his. So how do you feel about coming up against him?
Well, look, he's done very well. God, he's gone from nowhere to equal top within a year and a third. That's a pretty good effort. They've got a very young side. They've got a very balanced list, about 7 or 8 experienced players over 100 games. They've got about another 7 in that sort of core between 50 and 100. They've got a batch of young players that have done very, very well in their sort of first 15 to 35 games. So they're balancing their list up real well. I've never coached against a person that lives in Toorak, so I don't know how I'm going to go. No idea.
Did it take you by surprise, Kevin, when you beat the Gold Coast?
Sam.
Hello?
You are still alive. You were Sam, you look so different.
What?
I haven't seen you for 5 years. How are you feeling, love?
Oh, I'm just squeaking by, Kev, to be honest. Not travelling as sharply as you. Mind you, I've stopped drinking. Well, I'm not saying you're drinking.
You're
I'm just
feeling
saying,
okay.
I say I've stopped. Haven't had one for a couple of years. So did you get a shock when you beat them? Seriously?
No, we hope that we win a game and we might win 2 or 3. We don't know what our destiny really is in the first 12 months, but it's exciting.
It is. I'm excited for you.
Sheeds, what about if we're just having a look at you singing the song here? They were great scenes. They were celebrated all around the place, other than the Gold Coast, of course. But earlier in the year, we asked you about life beyond this year. I think your contract runs out at the end of this year, and I think your answer was you weren't sure whether you were going to coach on. Has that changed? Have you got the feel and the bug back again, and would you like to coach on beyond this year?
Well, I could come back to Melbourne, Gary. How are things going down there? I'll tell you what, I've really missed you, Gary.
Well, I've missed you too, and I genuinely want to know whether you're going to stay there or not.
I think I'll be here for a long time.
Now, Sheeds, just before we get to this game, Brendan Goddard is actually going to take us through the Giants in Essendon. Out of contract, big name, no bigger name in Melbourne. How would he look in a Giants jumper?
I coached Brendan when I picked him to play for Australia, and I hope he just remembers that one day.
I wanted to ask you a question, Sheeds. I just wanted to know what the property market's doing up there at the minute.
Well, it's slightly low and a good time to come and buy, and we hear that you've got plenty of money and you won't need a lot to come up.
Now, Kevin, I'm not sure if you saw on the website, the Essendon website, who they were actually playing this week. It actually had Essendon up against the bye. They're not taking you very serious. Kevin, what do you think about that?
Well, look, I think the Bombers have changed a hell of a lot. I've never cracked a bottle of champagne open halfway through a game and just sprayed the coach. I've never done that ever.
And talking of that, last week we loved it in the coach's box. We had James Hird sitting, getting ready for the match, and Bomber Thompson behind opens a can of Coke and sprays James Hird. And I'll tell you what, Hirdy was going to belt him. He looked around, saw it was Mark Thompson, and they laugh it off. There you go. He's shaking the can behind him anyway. He wants to take his spot. We love that footage. But they seem to have got on with the match and they had a good win.
Well, in Sydney, we thought it was champagne, not Coke.
All right, Beach, let's have a look at this game.
A lot of money at Essendon.
GWS Giants versus Essendon Footy Club. At Skoda Stadium, first game for the GWS Giants there. As we can see here, Smith, McDonald, Kennedy, Hampton, Shield, Bug, and Ward there with the Supercoach points 103. Go to the Essendon team. Flying along the Dons, but in McVeigh, Pearce, Collier, and as you see there, Stanton, #1 Supercoach player and probably #1 midfielder in the competition at the minute. He's absolutely flying, but Sheeds, I'm going to have to back your old team in Essendon this week. I don't...
Yeah, it's okay. Look, I can cope with that, but just remember, you got every chance to be wrong because we've already we've already organised 3 ambulances for the first quarter.
Well, isn't it a win? And I think
You don't plan on having a heart attack, do you, Sheets?
just whenever you're ready, Kevin.
We're having a party. You're interrupting our party, Craw.
I know, and they should all go to
We're
bed.
having
Have a look
some
how old they
birthdays
look.
here.
They look about 5.
Have a look at them.
Whose
Oh,
birthday
We
is it?
have birthdays here at the rate of...
What is going on?
we have 2 birthdays. And we have a party when we get a car licence in this club.
Well, there you go. Thank you. I think that's a definitely win. I think the sign of a good side is a side when you're not playing well, you get up and win. Happy birthday, well done, and we hope you have a great night. Good luck,
Dorsey, who do
Bombers.
you like?
Essendon paying $1, can't go past them.
Hang on, Kevin. Coming back to your seats, just hold on for 1 second. Who do you like there, Forsell?
Apropos to Brendan's question about the property market, it must be flying up in Blacktown. What's a triple-fronted brick veneer brick these days in Blacktown?
Oh, look, Sam, look, you've never got out of St Kilda and Brighton and give it a rest. It's the capital of Australia.
On a serious note, Kevin, a viewer
Yes, Sam.
sent in as a chicken nugget that they said looked like you. Can you see the resemblance?
Well, I don't think you're one to be talking about looks later in your life, okay?
Well,
Now, Sheeds, over the years we've enjoyed you being lateral and doing things a little bit differently. Have you got something special in store for your old side?
Yeah, we're going to tag Herd all night. We're going to take a guy and sit him down next to him. We're going to follow him to the rooms. We're going to get a security guy at the hotel at the Intercontinental. We're going to really get right up his nose, and it's a pretty big nose anyway, so who cares?
That's what we like, Sheeds. Hey, we really appreciate you joining us with a bunch of your young stars here. Good luck. It's going to be a fascinating game on the weekend. I'm sure the Bomber fans will give you a great welcome, and thanks for joining us on the Footy Show.
Very good, Kevin. Now, speaking of Sydney, the boundary umpire last week in Sydney, he's got a few issues. See if you can work out what's gone wrong as he throws his ball in.
Here's the umpire here. This is
The boundary umpire. Have a look at that. Oh, no. That is dreadful. It was his first game. He'd been having a big pre-season. And he forgot to throw it the wrong way. So what we thought we'd get into our vault and come up with the best umpire highlights that we could find. And this is what we've come up with.
boundary umpire highlight.
That's correct. Boundary umpires. Away we go. Now, the first one is, have a look at this. This was last week. Couldn't catch the footy. It's like a cake of soap. And then we go to Phil Carman, and we don't condone this at home, but we actually like watching this old footage. And then earlier this year, we're going to roll into next. The boundary umpire falls down. He's out. But what fixes it? Nothing but H2O. And away he goes, and he's brand new again. And then last year down at Geelong, he had cramp. But look at the courage just to keep fighting on. That is magnificent. Almost footy legends entry. Have a look at this one. The umpire runs past, he puts his foot out, and down he goes. He does a falcon into the grass. Look at this, he puts his foot out, and here he is. I'll just sneak him. Whoop, there you go. And what about this? Twinkle Toes. He's dancing around. Is he serious? We love the way he's going. And look at this, he just gives the Nuggets a little bit of airing. I'll go whoop. Going left and going right. And what about this magpie? We love this one. You can never get away from him. Not happy with the way he's throwing in the ball. Nearly goes up his backside there. And we love it. And that is our salute to the umpires. We love you.
Very well done, Shane. And speaking of umpires, we snuck a camera into a local suburban ground on the weekend and saw this umpire.
No.
Who is it?
That is... Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Looks like you're bringing F-111 into an aircraft carrier. What are you doing, semaphoring or something?
Yeah, Camberwell Sharks.
Could you take it any more seriously, Gary? You've got not a smile on your face, you've got glasses.
Well, the opposition probably kicked that goal.
Hanging out with your mates.
The under-14s is a big game.
Anyhow, when you do it again, mate, here, we've got a new jacket for you. Take this one. Put that one on.
You look like, I think I'm down to boundary umpire in 2 weeks' time. So.
Oh, we'll get a camera out of that, don't worry. We're going to take a break. Damien Barrett to join us next on The Footy Show. Welcome back to The Footy Show. Thanks to Nissan Navara, Australia's most powerful tradie and home timber and hardware, Australia's only proper hardware store. Great to have their support throughout the course of the year. Twitter world gone nuts for Kevin Shooty. The love for that man out in the footy public is unbelievable. Going to be a massive game on the weekend. A lot of news kicking around as always, and we turn to the best in the business. Damien Barrett, welcome, Damo.
Thank you, guys.
Great to have you, mate. Big injury for Carlton on the weekend. Mark Murphy with that shoulder injury. You were able to catch up with him this week.
Yeah, it was, and the diagnosis that he's been given is a worrying one. There's certainly no certainty that he's going to return this year, Gaz. He's got 2 breaks in the shoulder bone, and one of those breaks is of real concern to him. He admits here that in the interview you're about to see, and will be replayed in a fuller version on the Sunday Footy Show, that he does have the best case scenario being an 8 weeks on the sidelines, and he's going to vow to do everything he can to get back. And we can also tell you that the collision he had with Patrick Dangerfield of Adelaide came pretty soon after the runner of Carlton told him to go and win his own ball. We see here that the diagnosis that he's been given by Greg Hoy, this is how he starts this interview.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of fractures in the shoulder joint. So they just went in, Greg Hoy went in on Monday, just cleaned it out. So I've got to wait for 4 weeks now for those fractures to heal up.
And what are the best and worst case scenarios for you?
The doc's pretty confident I'll play this year, but it's at what point and how it's all healed up. So just got to play the waiting game at the moment.
Yep. Is it an unusual injury, as you've been told?
Yeah, I think Greg Hoy, he's seen 5 in his career in footy. So one with Andy Carazzo, obviously earlier in the year. So.
Now, we have on good authority that the runner came out to you to tell you to go and get your own ball only a minute before you had that collision with Dangerfield. Is that right?
I can't remember, to be honest. I don't normally listen to what the runners say too much, but it's just one of those freak things in footy.
Yeah. What about the sliding issue, Mark? Was there a part of you even subconsciously that you didn't want to slide in on that occasion because of the massive debate around that?
Yeah, I suppose a little bit, but I've never really gone in legs first as it is anyway. I think we both did the right thing, but unfortunately, I got the shoulder injury.
Are the clashes harder these days?
Yeah, I think some of the hits are a little bit harder. I think the pace that the game's played at and with the rotations, a lot of blokes coming on a little bit fresher and doing a lot more weights, a lot more power weights, and so it's more of probably a power game than what it was when I first started.
There he is, Mark Murphy. Now, Damo, the suspicion is, and we all hope that he gets back sooner rather than later, but a very real chance that he might not be able to, given the severity of those injuries.
He's going to need everything to go right. It's the humerus bone, which is the bone between the shoulder and the elbow. One of the breaks that he refers to there is of concern that tells the people who've seen the break that it does need to go right from here.
All right, we wish him well. Full interview on the Sunday Footy Show, of course. A couple of contract updates for big-name young players.
Yeah, one of those is Ryan Bastanak, who we told you some time ago was likely to reject a lucrative offer from GWS. We thought today that he's going to re-sign with North Melbourne. That hasn't quite happened, but it could happen as early next week. So Ryan Bastanak to stay Aru and to be announced as early as next week, possibly. Another contractual update, Patrick Dangerfield, as we know, is about to sign a 3-year deal with Adelaide to stay a Crow. It's in the vicinity of about $600,000 a year. He rejected a pretty nice offer from the Cats. The money's better to stay, but it's not the reason he has stayed. He just wants to see out the journey. That leaves the Cats heavily focused on Travis Boak from Port Adelaide. There are other 22 to 25-year-old midfielders of the elite type who they are also interested in. And just on the Cats, there's a redevelopment that's going on at Simmons Stadium. It has been set back both financially and in time. There's contamination of the soil, and it's going to cost the Cats an extra $250,000 to basically get this project completed. And just finally, there's a former Western Bulldogs employee who was on 57 charges relating to embezzlement of club money. There's for $500,000 here in question, guys. The alleged fraud happened between 2008 and 2010. The case will be heard in the Magistrates Court next month. 47 of those charges, Gaz, are theft, and 10 are for obtaining financial advantage by deception. The club has got, it says, most of that $500,000 back through insurance, but not all of it.
Very, very nice.
Comprehensive.
Well, comprehensive.
What's
as
the
always.
ground contaminated with down at Geelong?
It's actually from the old Geelong quarry, Sam, from the 50s and 60s is what the initial source of the problem is, Sam.
All the crap you used to talk.
Very nice pair of bifocals on our man, the purple, and we like it, of course. And we did notice as we cast our eye a bit wider around the comp that he's not the only bloke rolling with him. This is Sharad Wellingham here from the Collingwood Football Club. And Big Dawsey, we want to ask you what's going on here. This is NBA sort of LeBron James style work.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Sharad about it. He said he's got perfect eyesight, but he was just really wanting to be like his idol, Damien Barrett.
Who we need to thank very much. Damien Barrett. Well on. Chrissy, let's get stuck into Richmond and Hawthorn.
All right, this Saturday, Arvo at the G. We've got the Tigers take on the Hawks. As you can see here. Ins for Richmond are Vickery and Griffiths, coming in for Miller and Grimes, who's done a hammy. And Deledio had a good game last week. And then in the Hawthorn side, they're going in unchanged. And Sammy Mitchell in the middle has been getting it done.
Well, it's a big game, this one. Of course, Damien Hardwick, a former disciple of Alistair Clarkson at the Hawthorn Footy Club, was there when they won the premiership, so a bit riding on this shank.
Yeah, I think the Hawks have hit a bit of form, which is good to see. I think the Tigers will be very tough to beat too, because Hardwick knows Hawthorn's game plan inside out, and the coaches catch up all the time.
Yes.
So I'm tipping this will be a really close match. It wouldn't surprise me if the Hawks don't get across the line, but I'm backing them in.
All right. Dawsey?
Yeah, I think Richmond have improved a heck of a lot this year and they're proving themselves tough to be beaten. But that said, I think the Hawks will still be that bit too strong.
Yeah, the Tigers are up and about, but I don't think they got the defence to stop Buddy Franklin and Cyril. I think Alex Rance will have his hands full in the night, so I'll take Hawthorn.
Dylan Grimes, a big loss to the Richmond Footy Club, coming up against Ruff, who's in very good form. Dylan Grimes.
Oh, yes.
Very
big loss, him.
Yep.
Brad Sewell in very good form too.
Richmond are up and about, although I thought they might have toppled Essendon last week, but no.
No, they got close. They got in front.
Well, look, may as well give them the points. They got close today.
This game,
yeah, no, I think Hawthorn, and could I just say we've got a very great Richmond man in the house. Great player for them, ex-president,
yes,
and a synonymous with Richmond. Neville Crowe is here with us tonight.
There he is. Hello, Neville. Fantastic figure for the Richmond Footy Club and kept them going through some really tough times. Yep. So great to see Nev in the house, and let's hope the Tigers, I don't think they'll get the job done against the Hawks, but it'll be a very, very competitive game. Time now, though.
Yeah.
Favourite part of the show,
oh,
this
yeah.
one, it's Sam's mailbag.
Now, this is from Denham of Oak Park. What?
Yes, I'm just...
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to our producer who says you're in career best form, so keep going.
I don't reckon that's what he said.
He's been drinking like sheets.
Denham of Oak Park. Dear Mr Newman, I've heard you are intelligent.
Yes.
Can you help me with my Year 7 assignment? It is on multitasking. Mum tried to explain it to me, but all she said was, you have trouble with it. You have trouble with it. For example, you find it hard to talk and be funny at the same time.
Yes.
You stupid little prick. Now, Denham, you imbecile, this is multitasking. And that's a good bit of sex education for the little nipper. Just watching how you go about the art of fraternising with the opposite. Actually, that happened to me once. I was making love I was making love to someone once, and the lass took a call on a mobile phone while I was just getting the eye in. And I just getting a nice head of steam up, and she chatted the whole way through it. Well, it wasn't a long call, but she never got it. It rang and she answered it. That's true.
Oh, thank you.
This is from.
It would have been one of those big brick jobs too.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. She said, "Look, I've only got 12 seconds left on the battery." So that'll be. You'll have 10 seconds over. Cole of Victor Harbour. Hey, Foss.
Yes.
What?
I like it.
I was reading an article online about creating a series of perfect NBL players. This is the perfect player graph. This is apparently, you take, say, the shooting skills of one player, this is what Cole says, the catching and passing skills of another, and so on. A challenge for you, Foss. Who would you like to combine in the AFL from any era? Now, I'd like to combine Dane Swan, Lee Matthews and Bruce Doull, and this is what we have here.
Come on.
Or Ivan Maric, Brad Miller and Warwick Kappa. Or lastly, Gary Lyon, Jason Ackermanis and Jake King.
Funny ones.
Now, this is from Duke of Brighton. Yep. Sammy, please tell me what happened to the Kangaroos on the weekend. Well, Duke, it's a bit like what happened at this recent dog show. This is as best as I could explain it. The Kangaroos started off well. They did all the right things. They got right ahead. They were leading the pack. They never stumbled. They just, at every turn they were leading. And when it got down to the final effort, they just couldn't quite look. Over they go, and just before the bell went, and they were about to take the buttered confection, and as they just came to the edge...
Oh, that's funny, is it, Dorsey?
It's pretty funny. Yeah. I want to state the bleeding obvious. They just went to shit. That's what happened.
Dorsey, they reckon...
No, I haven't finished.
Hang on. GBA Box 9, Melbourne, Victoria 3001, or sams.mailbag@9.com.au, footyshow.com.au.
Now, this is... Gary, just give us 15 seconds. Oh, this is the Facebook thing of me. It's called Smartass Sam.
Righto, yes.
And if you write in and you're rude or you are gratuitously stupid, we have a department that won't let any of that stuff go on the Facebook. And if you vaguely make sense, or I think you might be half smart, I might reply to you.
This is your actual Facebook page?
This is my actual Facebook page, and I'll be just chatting to all the fans
you
out there. I said I'd never do this, Gary.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm only doing it because there's too many people impersonating me and saying things that I don't say. So I'll be saying what I say.
This is the real one.
And this is the real one. And
what's with the red hand?
That's just, you know, because I do that. Apparently people think, oh, that's really humorous, because I do that all the time. And the first thing we're doing, Gary, is we're inviting people to join the FARC Academy, and there's going to be a prize given. There'll be a FARC off at the end of the year. It'll be a kick-off for goals, and we will give good prizes if you want to enrol in the academy. And don't try and send in smutty or stupid or rude things, because we have a whole department set up to just make sure they're sanitised.
All right, we've seen the Melbourne Football Club this week, Copper.
Thank
left,
you.
right and centre, and we want to speak to one of their greats, Gary Lyon, about that next.
Someone needs to just come out and say that they've made a massive error as a club appointing Mark Mills as the senior coach. His responsibility is how they play. That's his mantra.
The performance against Sydney was unacceptable. At times, there were some disturbing efforts.
They're a shadow of what we saw last year.
We certainly didn't plan to be 0-8.
You look at the vision of the club, where are they at? How far off seeing some light at the end of this tunnel? No one knows.
We've got a clear view of how we want to play.
Young captains that are really struggling, that's just gone pear-shaped. How much time do we have to give it? We wait another 12 months? We wait another 2 years? The club could be in free fall by then.
We're 8 weeks into what's going to be a long journey.
Melbourne Footy Club's in intensive care right now and they need some problems to be fixed. Accept they got a problem and start to work out what the next steps are, because at the moment they're putting their head in the sand.
Now, welcome back to the Footy Show. It's hard to imagine a first-year coach who's copped a greater pasting than Mark Neeld over the last 8 weeks. And Gary, that was David King with some very strong views on pay TV.
Yes, they were, and that's the great thing about footy and for people in the media. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, Jim, and what we do then as people involved is have the option of listening to it or just pushing it aside and moving on, depending on who it is that's saying it.
Well, how much of that were you listening to?
About 10 seconds.
Well, let's move from David King to Mike Sheehan, who today in the paper was very strong about the Melbourne Football Club, but also about your own involvement. Spoke in there about the fact that you met with Mick Malthouse, who told you that while he wasn't available, you should pursue Mark Neeld, which you proceeded to do with haste.
Again, and Mike's opinion is worth listening to. And look, I don't mind opinion, but I don't like it when people get stuff factually wrong. And unfortunately, Mick has on this occasion.
Well, what's wrong in that?
Well, I mean, he went with the assertion that I met with Mick Malthouse, and Mick said, no, I'm not interested, but you go and get Mark Neeld, and then Mick said the deal was done. Factually incorrect.
Well, what's incorrect?
Well, I didn't meet Mick Malthouse at all, so I'm not sure where he's getting his mail from.
What, so did you ring him or have any contact with Mick Malthouse?
I didn't meet him and didn't talk to him, so that would have been an easy thing to check. I mean, that's a phone call, and he would have known that that wasn't right.
Well, he also went on to say that you were negligent in not pursuing Ross Lyon.
Well, again, Craig Kelly, the manager of Ross Lyon, is one of my very good friends, of course, and he just need to pick the phone up and ring Craig Kelly, and he would have said on 10 occasions I spoke to Craig Kelly about talking to Ross Lyon. Now, Craig Kelly's repeated comment to me was, I will let you know if that happens, but he will re-sign with St Kilda. I continued to ring him, and in the end he said he's about to re-sign with the St Kilda Footy Club. So from my point of view, I thought I was on pretty good ground with his manager. As it turns out, his manager...
your manager as well?
Who's my manager as well, who didn't know. So I guess you get the message when I rang Ned, when we found out here on a Thursday night that he'd gone to Freo, and I rang and said, what in God's name's going on? So those two things from Mike, who's one of the greats of all time, disappointed. He got those two things wrong.
So you didn't really want Mark Neeld?
Well, we went through the process of looking at experienced coaches.
Yeah,
no
we wanted Ross Lyon.
Well, we're very keen to talk to him.
Well, Gaz, look...
Yes, are you going to put the jacket on, or...?
I am.
Or have you dispensed with it?
No, I'm putting the jacket on because what we're going to do is we're going to
Can I just say one more thing? I know
Please, it's your show, Gary. Say whatever you like.
I just think, and I'm going to defend Mark Neeld because I firmly believe in him. What has happened to him is an assassination, I think, which all Mark Neeld has done is retired from football and said, I want to be a footy coach. He went and coached his own club in Geelong and was spectacularly successful. He then went and became an assistant coach in the system, having done high-level teaching stuff, and had great success with Chris Dawes and the Collingwood Footy Club. And I don't need to ask Dawsey about how he was received. He was very well respected. And then all the poor bloke did was put his hand up and say, I want to be a senior coach, and went through a process. We were over the moon excited about him, knew that there was going to be challenges, put Mark Neeld in place and put Neil Craig around him to help him through, and now he's got a huge battle on his hand. That's undeniable, and last week was poor and all those sorts of things, but to be smashed in the manner that he is, I think personally, is a little harsh 8 weeks into a coaching tenure.
Yes, it's bad luck, Gary. Well, I tell you what we're going to do, Gaz, we're going back to the 60s because this was the last time you actually greeted the judge and took the buttered confection.
Yes.
We're going to have a 60s theme night next week to try and get a bit of spirit into your poor old body there because we feel the grand old flag, Gaz, it's just drooping at the minute. And Jimmy, this was the era when the Demons were flying.
No doubt about it.
Cats were going well too. Everything. Cats had a great 60s. Yeah, in the 60s.
Not sure the
63, and then we were in the finals every year up until the 70s.
Not sure it was the Kangaroos' greatest.
We
decade.
can give a stuff about the Kangaroos, Jim. This is about Melbourne, Australia. And Gaz, next week it's going to be a theme night of the 60s, and we'll be dressing up. I will. You can watch it in the audience if you like. We're going to try and lift your stocks because I know you're doing it tough.
Gary, one of the great eras of the 60s, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the James Bond movies launched. It is just fantastic.
Yeah, Dr. No.
60s theme night.
It's 60s theme night in honour of Melbourne.
That'd be great. All right, let's have a look at the next game. Carlton taking on the Melbourne Footy Club, and the Carlton boys aren't going all that well either. Belted by Adelaide, 69 points. Murphy out, Thornton dropped, Russell, Dygan also out with a calf. Some ins here. McLean, Warnock, Collins, Joseph, Lucas, Watson and Bootsma. These are squads, of course, they play Sunday afternoon. They need a win. They play the Demons, who aren't going well, let's be honest. And big news here, Aaron Davey been omitted, Colin Sylvia's been omitted, Carl Morton been omitted, and Liam Jarrah is out with a broken ankle, I think. So that is bad news. The good news from last week in what was a horrid day was that Jack Watts returned and had 34 touches in the back half. It is tough going, no denying that. Shane, any light at all?
It's very tough going, been through it myself, and all the supporters have got to just stick with Melbourne and keep supporting their young team, and they'll eventually come good. If not, we'll just kick them out of the league. I'm going to go with the Blues. I reckon they'll have a great win.
What was it?
Jim, I reckon the Blues should win this one pretty comfortably.
Who?
The Blues.
Yeah, sorry, Gary. I don't see Carlton losing this one. Good, healthy odds there if you want to back the Ds. $9.
$9, absolutely. Oh, no.
Can you win, Sam?
Look at it. Could we win? I might get the mortgage
It's wearing
house.
a bit thin, this one.
Oh?
It's wearing a bit thin.
Gary, you were told your players have been told to wear this outfit to the games. Fat lot of bloody gooders doing them. I don't think I tell you what, I'm frightened we mightn't score one week. Honestly and truly, we're just shocking. We are shocking. But I tell you what, I'm sticking. I'll stick because I've stuck all my life. And
hard to find.
What?
I beg your pardon?
What? What? Who are you going with?
Well, I think Carlton will win, unfortunately. But, a more competitive effort is needed. There's no question about that. But as I said, Carlton...
Where's the faith?
Beg your pardon?
Where's the faith?
Yeah. I'll talk to you after the show too, Shane. Don't you worry about that. Carlton not going great, and it is testing the patience of their supporters. Now, you know our man Manu, who's got the Carlton News Agency down there in Leiden Street.
Absolutely.
The number one Carlton man, who the Carlton faithful have got around him. His business has gone through the roof. They've lost a couple on the trot, so we've got him in here. I want to know, you must be disappointed, Manu. How they're going? Oh, no.
Oh, look at
I'm devastated, definitely, mate. It's broke my heart.
You're not changing.
So I'm tagging along with these guys for this week.
You are not doing that.
Yeah, and I'm even trying to learn their song as well.
$130 worth of jumper we gave you 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
well, just as this week. Let's see if I can even get the song out if I can, yeah.
Oh, all right, then go on.
You can have a shot of that, yeah?
Well, off you go.
All right, hang on. Another prop.
We got another prop.
It's got a prop.
Oh, I know. I'm not liking where you're going with this.
Da 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 da. We are the pride of South Australia. We are known as the truth. We're courageous, stronger,
Manu,
faster.
Manu, you're singing that in the Carlton tune. You know
Respected by a fool.
Sit down, Manu. That is not acceptable. You are the number one Carlton man. Not the real I wouldn't want to go back down Lygon Street from Manu.
Not dressed like that, Manu. You need to change Toot Sweet.
I'm taking it off soon.
Yeah.
My pistol's inside.
There it is. Get yourself back to normal, please. Now, we spoke a couple of weeks ago about a greyhound called Harry Gary.
Oh, yes.
We brought it into the studio here. We met Harry Gary. We met the handlers. We met the trainers.
I spent time
we
with
did
him
the whole
last week.
story.
Yeah.
Then we wanted to know when it was going to run. Well, Warrnambool this week was the debut of Harry Gary.
Look at him, the champ.
Normally, Gary, they have 100 patrons at the races down at Warrnambool. 400 turned up. They all had the mono brows going.
Not funny.
So this was, of course, Harry Gary in the blue bib.
Look at him, look at him.
Box 4.
He was ready, Jim.
So we thought we'd send our cameras down there, of course, to see how Harry went.
I know all about this race.
You've got to get some drugs into it.
No, you watch this dog. You watch this dog until about... I won't
Gary,
spoil
don't
it.
you spoil it.
Okay, go.
Box 4, in the blue,
Watch this,
Harry Gary at Warrnambool.
Watch it.
And
Was it
our
paying,
caller,
Gary?
Rob Tester, picks up the call.
Was it paying?
This is the greyhounder Harry Gary that's associated with the Channel 9 AFL football show. This greyhound named in honour of former Melbourne Football Club legend Gary Lyon, involved with the footy show in a big way. So Harry Gary at 340, the favourite, makes his debut. He's 190 at the 340, blown like the north wind. Racing. Harry Gary's begun well out in the centre, but going with him, Arvo's Cheetah, and they're going to lead him initially, and they're followed on the rail by Lucy Vet, and going around the outside as a lead streak, and they're followed by Jack and Tigee. Up to the turn at Arvo's Cheetah, the front runner. Harry Gary running a terrific race second. Into the straight, Arvo's Cheetah in front on the rail, and Lucy Vet coming late. Front runner though, it's Arvo's Cheetah making a run. Arvo's Cheetah beats W. 13 as a Lucy Vet, followed by Jack. Harry Gary got a bit tired in the straight.
Gary, he did. Friendless in the end, Harry.
I tell you, he loomed up outside the white dog.
Did a hamstring.
No, seriously. Seriously, like black caviar. Now, this is the official vet's report.
Oh,
right?
Too hairy.
Because the dog lost ground in the... Shut up. He was ordered by stewards to be vetted after the race, Forsyth.
Too grumpy.
The on-course vet found an injury to his right triangle muscle. And that just... Dawsey, with about 80 to go, he was going to win by 5 lengths. And if you look, I've looked at that 20 times. His leg comes out slightly, and that is where he hit the wall and went back.
Well, he's no good.
Triangle muscle, what is that?
What?
The triangle muscle, you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. That's what it says here.
Bloke in the crowd just said, get the stretcher out. Gary.
Anyway, the good news is, Malcolm, our trainer, who's a fearsome character, he thinks he's going to bounce back, no problem, and will probably race next week.
Oh, so it's triangle muscles that bad, it's racing in a week.
A short-term injury.
We get the elephant juice out.
Well, maybe, but
Hey,
anyway.
Bounce back like
Put
Melbourne.
something in him.
All right, West Coast Freo, Shane, let's get stuck into
Yes,
that.
we're going to have a look at West Coast up against Fremantle Sunday, Patterson Stadium. What a beautiful match this is going to be, and going beautifully. Prittis comes back in. He's a beauty. Hams and Beau Waters down half back. All Australian form, 132 Supercoach points. And Fremantle very disappointing against the Hawks last week, although the Hawks are very good. They need to bounce back. They need more from Sandilands. They need more from Pavlich. They need a 4-quarter effort. And if they can, I think they can certainly be in this match. But it's going to be a beauty. Broughton's been playing really well. Mazungu, they need him with plenty of run. I think possibly Fremantle in an upset. Ooh. They were very disappointing last week.
Yeah, I think these games are always crackers, but you can't go past West Coast. They're in too hot a form at the moment.
The big derby over there, Beach?
Yeah, it's just the second time they've had it played, is it?
The derby?
First time this year.
Haven't they met already?
Oh, no. Well, 8 games in. What do you reckon?
Well, I reckon they've already played.
What, you reckon they've played twice in 8 weeks, do you?
Well, this will be the second time.
I'm telling you, Gary.
I've lost his
I don't know. Something's in that
I just
pipe.
seem to remember.
Yes, please, Beach.
I think you're watching.
I think Ross will obviously get the boys up from last week, Fremantle that is, but saw West Coast firsthand last week, and they're a very, very big and solid, powerful footy team.
Yeah, so Ross will get the boys up. So
based on that, I reckon West Coast will win.
Samuel?
Big and powerful's not. They might be a bit top heavy up the front, Gary.
Top heavy, you think?
They've got injuries.
They've lost a few big fellas. Lost Big Kennedy and Embley.
Okay, so they're not top heavy. They were top heavy. They had a lot of very big stock up the front there.
Who are you tipping?
I think the Dockers might beat them. Yeah.
What do you think? I was in Perth during the week, and I tell you, the build-up to these games is unlike anything you ever see. Yeah. And what they are still talking, I think the West Coast, by the way, but what they're still talking about over there is this free kick that was paid on the weekend. Now, I'm going to talk you through it. Brad Shepherd is the player that ends up. There's a free kick paid here to this player who chased him down. Brad Shepherd grabs the footy and says, no advantage, throws it back, and the umpire pings him for throwing the ball. That's a free kick to West Coast. He says, I'm not taking advantage, puts his hand up, throws it back to his player.
legit.
And free kick for throwing the ball, Sam.
Well, Gary, at the start I said, are we just turning a blind eye to the stupidity?
Well...
No, but it's like the Geelong play on last week against Collingwood.
Well, that was a free kick.
No, but Gary, every single contest there's a free kick.
No,
and if you have to wait for the umpire...
50-metre penalty all day, all night.
Yes, Gary, if you've got some common sense, you know that the
bloke...
bloke...
You can't umpire with common sense.
There you, my friend.
Well,
you've just hit it on the head.
You
can't umpire with common sense. My point exactly.
These boys, how are they going to determine what's common sense and what's not?
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary.
Your common sense is different to other people's.
No.
Yes.
Gary, if it is patently obvious, that someone's played on, you are obliged. It is your bounden duty to stop someone playing on, and that's all the Geelong guy did last week.
I can talk all night about this.
No, we turn a blind eye to the stupidity of a lot of umpiring decisions, and we've become so...
Anyway, before we go,
don't tell me that is looking at the game objectively.
That is just stupidity.
That's right.
He made a bad mistake.
That's not looking at the game objectively. It's
got nothing about objectivity. He just made a mistake, like Chris Dawes does every week, and like Brendan Goddard does every week.
Yes, Pete.
Anyway, we spoke about... This will calm me down, because you spoke about Neville Crowe in the audience before, and we've had a lot of tweets coming through saying you didn't mention that Neville was a premiership player. Now, he was the captain in 1967 of the Richmond Footy Club, and they played the Cats.
They did, and unfortunately, and people said, why didn't you mention he was a premiership player? Because he unfortunately got suspended for allegedly striking John Nichols. If they'd had video replay in those days, he would have been cleared because he didn't do what they said he did. And he missed the 1967 grand final through suspension, like I did, through injury.
Yes, so two greats that missed the 1960, or one and you. So there you go.
So we just want to clear that.
It out, or
we're going to go on in the ad break.
No,
we're going to a break. Sorry. We are going to a break. 20 minutes still to come on the Footy Show.
Still to come on the Footy Show, if love is the drug, they're high as a kite in Ballarat. Cowboy Croft rounds up some ripping, almost football legends. And we preview the rest of round 9, including Dawsey's Pies' big clash with the Crows. So stay with us, and we'll try to bring it home a fraction better than Hairy Gary. Oh no, Gary.
Righto.
You got to focus. Look at the blue.
Yeah.
No, look at the blue.
Yeah.
It's just normal. No, you can't do that.
You're not going to...
Hey, well, man, what a heavy scene this is. I haven't smoked a bong. I'm just up here looking for love. Come to Cupcake Ballarat. Come on, man. But seriously, Mick Malthouse says Melbourne can solve their problems by having a love fest. Let's see who agrees with that. Do you dig? How are you?
Autograph, bro.
No, we're just knocking the top off one early.
Oh, I'll have to give you a hug, mate.
Do you remember your first love?
I do, yeah. I was on my own at the time.
I'm not standing, I'm kneeling. I go through a lot of knee pads.
I go through a lot of incontinence pads. Do you think love is what makes the world go round? Will it help Melbourne? Melbourne's and beautifully said, sir. They're shocking. They're shocking. And I tell you what, I reckon an old bloke like me could get out there and have a run and show him what old Flemboy could play like. Get in there and give him the breath fire and get the ball. Mick Malthouse, you know him?
Yeah.
He's from Ballarat.
Is he?
Did you know?
Yes.
What'd you say he's here for?
Well, I don't know if he's here now.
Put your bloody finger out. You're getting paid and people pay to see us.
Mick said...
Not going to move on.
No, it's coming to us. Look, please.
Get in, dive in hard and keep running. Born, run.
What guys? Is that all we need, love?
I reckon that love. So years ago, it used to be free love, but now...
You got to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez. You know, like, you can't have it. You can't... The love isn't...
Don't have your cake and eat it, sir.
Oh, what can you do?
What can you do?
Have you told them you're my TB?
What's that, though?
Have you told them that you're my TB?
TB. Teddy bear?
No, toy boy.
Toy boy.
And I'm really Elm McPherson. I got sick of the paparazzi and I got my makeup artist to make me look 72. She's such a good makeup artist because they're not following me.
This woman's doing lines. What happens at a love fest? What would Melbourne do at a love fest?
Well, they'd probably have a big orgy or some shit, brother.
What is a love fest? What would Melbourne do if they went to a love fest?
I don't know. Hopefully they pick up women.
Pick up woman.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A love fest.
Yeah,
I'll love it up.
That's it.
I'm known around the streets as the one and only SV. I used to be blind, but now I see like crystal.
Love me tender, love me too. This I say to you.
I'm being touched by a pervert.
I was walking down the street. This actually lass picked me up, right?
This lass picked you up?
Yeah, picked me up, and she took me home. And I was actually sleeping. And she was doing some funny things to me, like she was getting really warm, and I didn't even know what was going on.
Harriet High Pants, do they call you that?
Yes.
Yeah, you got them up a bit high if you go to BL.
I was on my bike and I got...
Fell over?
No, I got hit by a car.
Did you have the helmet on?
Yeah, luckily.
That's why we wear them.
Exactly, that's what they're made for, really.
Don't film this.
No, don't film this.
You don't say to someone you're an arrogant asshole. You say, Jesus, you're so far up yourself you can give yourself a tonsillectomy. You made that up.
You made that up?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a job as a boom operator?
Yeah, of course.
What did you do then? You nearly ate that. Looks like a wombat.
I know. Is that how you feel it? You just want to pet the woman?
Do I want to pet the wombat?
Yeah. Go ahead.
God, what a pet the wombat.
I've got a family that's always shown me support, even though they don't understand what I'm rhyming for.
If you were gentlemanly, you'd say, piss off. But because I'm a lady, I wouldn't say that. I'd say, please urinate off.
Frightening, isn't it?
Well, thanks for having me on the show.
That's okay. It's a pleasure. And what?
It's back to the studio.
To the studio. Jesus.
Beautiful work from our Samuel in Ballarat. Nice people in Ballarat there, Samuel.
Yeah, your
Wonderful
best,
people.
Yeah, your best comment ever since you've been on this show,
Yeah.
Gary, was you don't umpire with common sense. That's the best thing you've ever
the
said.
fight has continued through the ad break, but we've got to get going. North Melbourne take on the Brisbane Lions on the weekend.
Yeah, Eddie had stadium on Sunday afternoon. We've got the North Melbourne team here. Few ins. Aaron Black, if he gets a game, he's a good male. That he's a good young kid. Got some tricks up his sleeve. Tall forward. Man, James Brayshaw beside me, pumping him up.
No doubt about it.
Brisbane, as we go to the Brisbane Lions team. Good win last week. Big Roger Merritt, kicking 5 in the first quarter. It was a great effort, 177 Supercoach points in Hawkley. Who's that? Yo, and Cornelius as it's all.
All right, they're going to bounce back. North Melbourne, Dawsey, or Brisbane got something up their sleeve?
Oh, well, I know how Sam likes milestone games, and it's Lindsay Thomas' 100th game, so I think they'll get it up for him.
I think North Melbourne will definitely win this, and we love Falcons, and we love Drew Petrie, who is one of our favourites. Have a look at this. The ball comes in, bang, straight in the face, and down he goes. We have a look at the replay. Got to get your hands up, Drew. Try and take the mark if you can. But also down at North Melbourne training during the week, Fatty Vorton from the NRL show, he had a go at trying to mark a nice high ball. Have a look at this for a Falcon. And that is absolutely terrible. He's jumping off 2 feet. He's got no idea, but we love it, so thank you very much.
Samuel?
They are going both sides. Just ordinary, aren't they?
Well, the Kangaroos would be shattered with last week.
What has happened?
Well, I played very well for 3.5 quarters and badly for 10 minutes, Foss.
What, from the bottom side, snuck up and beat you?
No, it wasn't the bottom side.
Wasn't the bottom side?
No,
well, it was
bottom.
equal. What was equal bottom? We're
Won
not
a
counting
couple.
your
Won a
side.
couple.
We're
they
not
have.
counting
Shut
your
up,
side,
will you?
Gary.
Who do you think's going to win, Sam?
I suppose you'll win, Jimmy, but...
I'd like you to be a bit more enthusiastic.
No, I suppose you'll win.
Oh, no, we've got to keep going because I also think...
Sure, they haven't played before, those two
North
sides.
Melbourne are going to win, Jim.
All right, the Gold Coast take on Port Adelaide as we keep ripping through these games. Metricon, this one on Saturday. have not greeted the judges this season, of course, the Suns, and you can see Gary Ablett continues to play unbelievable good footy. Russell comes out of this side and quoted as rested, if you don't mind, as we take a look at Port Adelaide. Big come from behind win against the Kangas, of course, and Butcher is a big out for Port Adelaide. Stewart comes in, and congratulations to Alipati Carlisle, who is also Dawsey going to play his 100th game. What do you think, Shane?
Having a real go, and last year they were very disappointing. This year they've been really competitive, although not winning all the time, but it's good to see, and they'll win again, 2 in a row.
Chris? Yeah, look, I like the Gold Coast at home. I reckon Gary Ablett will play yet another blinder this season. I reckon he'll get him over the line.
Good to see a former Saint, a great mate of mine, Andrew McWalter, get his first game for the Suns last week as a senior rookie.
Is that a milestone game?
Andrew, no, this is Andrew's second game, but he played his first for the Gold Coast last week.
They might win for him if it's his second game.
Yeah, just mentioning that, Sam, but I reckon, Gold Coast might get over the line.
Upsets there, Foster.
Yeah, I reckon. I'm seeing as I'm a foundation member of the Port Adelaide side. Gary, have you sent your money in yet?
I told them I'm waiting. I haven't got.
For God's sake, send him a form. We've all paid.
What are you waiting on, Gary?
I said send the form that I haven't got, have I?
Yeah.
Have I?
You
I reckon they can
you won't
find a
open your
form
mail.
for you.
It's been sitting on your
No, I
desk for
haven't got the
years.
form.
I don't know. I'm not sure that we can win up there, to be honest.
Port Adelaide? I think they can. So.
Do you?
Yep.
Shane, please. What is all that crap? What are you doing with all that stuff? Now, you've had it on the desk. You're thinking up something in that small brain of yours.
In Rockhampton, the Cowboys taught me how to rope and to do the whip, and like I can whack it out of people's mouths and I can lasso people.
Whack
with
what
all
out
that.
of people's mouths?
Well, using this.
Whack? What do you mean you can
Put
whack?
something in your mouth and I'll whack it out.
Maybe after the break, because
What is he talking
he thinks he's good on the whip. We might, if we get time, Shane,
Whip
because
this
we're
out.
pushed for time at the moment. Maybe later.
I would love to have a go at
Yeah,
that.
we might let you do that. Lots of suggestions coming through for you to face your fear. We've had about 140 suggestions that you get in a snake pit.
Snake pit.
I'm not getting in a snake pit.
There's another one that says they want you to go a month without plastic surgery. I like an ice hockey goalie. You can go out the back and be an ice hockey goalie, but I think this one's got some merit. Sit through a whole game with the Collingwood cheer squad. Which of those 4 options scares you most?
Well, he
He doesn't get a choice.
No, he doesn't.
No, exactly. So just pick for him.
All right, well, there's some of the suggestions. You can get onto Twitter and the AFL Footy, at AFL Footy Show, Power of the Mind, thanks to Nissan Navara.
Yeah, don't just turn around and say, I'm not getting in with snakes. We had to do something we didn't want
We'll
to do.
tell you, Shane, we might give you that opportunity. We're going to take a break. The big Collingwood Adelaide game up next.
And thanks to our great friends at James Bogue's Draft. These boys are from the Moorabbin Footy Club, and a fantastic looking club too, with a great logo there, the Kangaroos, and the colours are all good. Best looking local club we've had in this year, don't worry about that. Have a great night, boys. While we're on James Bogue's, Gary, the guys have teamed up with Sharon to create the ultimate footy cooler. It fits bottles, cans, pots, whatever you like, and when it's empty, you can toss it around. Look.
Yes, if you're over 18 and you want to get your own ultimate footy cooler, then what you got to do is buy a case of Bogue's Draft, and that's very nice drinking.
Do it anyway.
Participating outlets, and when you buy around at your local, it's a great offer available till the end of June. Celebrate, everyone in our audience gets one. Now you hold them up. James Bogue's Draft footy cooler. Not only that, but as always, James Bogue's Draft giving $1,000 to the local footy club of our 2 panellists. So well done to those.
He said.
We need, before you do that, Sam, we need to mention the Brendan Goddard West End Footy Club.
West End, yep, Charlton District Junior Footy.
Oh, very nice. And of course, Dawsey, $1,000 goes their way. As we spoke earlier, the Hampton Rovers, where my brother's family are all involved, $1,000 jump in there as well.
All right, what about this for a big game? Adelaide Crows taking on the Collingwood Footy Club Saturday night at Raymond Stadium. Second v fifth, the Crows are flying under Brenton Sanderson, defeated Carlton by 69 points last week. Paddy Dangerfield, as Damo tells us, about to sign a new 3-year deal. Tom Lynch is out, Richie Douglas comes back into a side that is sitting second on the ladder. Collingwood. Big Dawsey's mob. They're going beautiful. Terrific. 6 wins, 2 losses. Pendlebury in great form. A couple of big outs though. Dane Swan with a hamstring, 2 weeks at least we believe. Ben Reid also out with a quad. Elliott and Williams. Jamie Elliott, a young man from Euroa in the Murray under-18s, and Marley Williams recruited from Claremont, Western Australia. Well done to those two boys playing their first games for the mighty Magpies. Dawsey very nicely at the moment, the Maggies. This is a great challenge though, because Adelaide are in great form.
It will be, yeah. We're playing the Crows for the Westpac Cup this week, which pays tribute to the life-saving in Victoria and South Australia. And it's always a tight contest against them, and I think they've proven to be probably the form team of the competition, if not one of 2 or 3 at the moment so far this year. So they're going to be tough, but you know, especially bringing in some new boys, I think it's going to be pretty exciting for us, and we're expecting a really good challenge.
Yeah, just a couple of big outs for the Pies, but yeah, as Dawsey said, a couple of big outs.
Yeah.
Dane Swan and Ben Reid are not playing.
But then you said but.
And I reckon Adelaide Crows will win.
Yeah, I think Adelaide are airborne at the moment. I really like Collingwood as a side, but I think you've got to go with Adelaide. But I am ready, Sam.
Ready for what, Shane?
I'm ready to
After
whack
the break,
something out of your mouth.
I'm going to give you a go at that after the break.
Oh, you're going to... Really?
Yeah.
And the other thing about him, he says...
Who's him?
Brendan?
Yes, Brendan.
Brendan says he's got the brace and bits because in the record or in the yearbook it says that he's 189 centimetres. He reckons he's 193.
We have heard this.
I'm 189.
Bit under 193.
What?
Bit under 193, Sam.
You said you were 193.
No, I didn't.
I'm 189.
Anyway, it's come to our attention that you argue vehemently that you are not 189.
Lie down there.
The boys reckon you are.
Lie down there.
Lie down.
You're going to measure me?
Yeah, I'm going to measure you.
No, back to back.
Lie down. They get precious about this AFL football.
Yeah, no.
So if we can get in tight on the actual...
Great view, Sam.
Now this is...
Get in tight on the measuring stick,
No,
because we want to know for sure...
Come here, Shane, stupid.
Oh, right.
Quickly, measure the top of his cranium.
Is that the right way to do it?
Yeah, of course it is.
There you go.
While you're there, measure something else.
It says 198.
Now go on, stupid. Tell him, put your head down.
Well, what's going wrong?
Well, go on, what is it?
It says 196.
You bloody...
Well, you have a look. I'll hold it there. Here, you do it.
How do you reckon this is going?
It's like the Marx Brothers.
Go.
The brain surgeons at work.
No, you tell me. That's right, isn't it?
How big is it, Sam?
Yep, says 198.
What?
So you're as big as Ben McAvoy.
Right,
Why did you say 198?
We're going to take a break.
I'm 6 foot.
We're going to let Sam work out how to measure someone, and we'll come back with the details.
If you ever wondered what happens in the ad breaks here at the Footy Show, the boys had a measure off. No one believes Brendan Goddard's as tall as he is. Actually taller than Gary. Dawsey's only just got him. He's comfortably bigger than Sam.
Well, who's taller there?
At Beach.
Not
And
by much.
he is, of course, an on-baller. You were a power forward. Dawsey is a power forward, and you were a ruckman. He's taller than all of you.
You shrunk.
And Shane was 1.25 metres tall.
Hey, before we go, we've got to clear something up, because Manu would not be allowed back into Carlton at all. So we're only joking, weren't we, Manu?
That's still the Blue Boys.
Hey, Gary.
So he was only joking.
We also need to remind everyone that it is a 60 show next week, and we're doing it to cheer Gary up.
Cheer, Gary.
Don't worry. Going to be a beauty, guys.
That'll be a lot of fun. Shane, thanks to you, and to Dawsey and to BJ. Boys, good luck on the weekend. Samuel, I'd love Shane to be able to see if you can lasso him, because you're not allowed to whip him.
No, I'm not allowed to whip. No, because I'm not very good, and I could take his eye out.
Thanks for participating. Good luck to you on the weekend, Samuel, whatever you might be doing. There it is. Sort of sums us up. We're going to see you next Thursday night for a big Saturday show, 9:30. Good night.